Updates. The one word Cherry Mobile is having a hard time understanding. Since 2012, I have come from a super excited fanboy to a skeptic Matista on their releases. Cherry Mobile has released hundreds of flagship, but have they ever bothered to update any of them? Granted, many top-notch company also does not update their phones. Does that mean that Cherry Mobile has to follow the trend? Probably not. Hey, what is up guys, this is No13000 of YouTube. I give you today a review of Cherry Mobile Android One. Generic. That is that one word that will perfectly describe the Cherry Mobile One. It has a 4.5-inch TFT display. The back has a 5MP camera and is covered by a removable plastic back. +1 for not being a fingerprint magnet. The size houses the power button and a volume rocker, while the top and bottom has a 3.5mm jack and USB port respectively. Nothing special with regards to its looks. It looks cheap, it feels cheap because it is cheap. It seriously looks like flair of previous iterations. I have no gripes with the design, it's average at best within its price range. Accompanying the 4.5-inch screen is a display of 854 by 480. After years of looking at 720p or more, going lower is now very noticeable. Display is not bad per se, but colors seem to be slightly washed out. Some text, icons, and images will look stretched out at times. One also seems to have a relatively low brightness, which can be a huge problem outdoors. Add that to the terrible viewing angles, and when you are outside, you have to put your hand over the screen just so you can see it. Very, very disappointing. Functioning as a multimedia driver, one is average if not little better. Carrying a single driver at the back for the speaker, you shouldn't expect much. Headsets attached, the sound quality is again okay. One comes with Google Music for your out-of-the-box player, and it plays music just fine. A nice amount of loudness is always a good thing. Watching on one is enjoyable if you can keep the resolution to 720p or lower. It can play up to 1080p, but it does stutter from time to time. It is worth mentioning that stock Android has shitty video codec, so MX Player Pro is your best friend. For gaming, mainstream games like Angry Birds play just fine. Jump into more graphic-intensive games like Dead Trigger and Ghost Simulator, it will be playable, but I don't think this is meant for hardcore gamers. Web browsing has been significantly upgraded on Lollipop, and even if with a mediocrely powered phone, web browsing and streaming is great. I have been able to watch seamless hours on Twitch and YouTube. I do have PLDT fiber at home, but it does not change the fact that Android One has performed better than expected. One thing to note is that it can only play up to 480p videos on YouTube. And yes, there are some phones with 480p displays capable of running 720p videos. Xiaomi has been making a big name for itself during the past months. After the flash sale of Mi 3, which was a huge success, they released power banks which were said to sell out in seconds. Sporting a 5MP camera at the back and 2MP in the front, the One's camera, in my opinion, could have been so much better. I've seen cameras on the same price range which perform much better. What I did notice was the long, and I mean long time before it captures a shot after you have pressed the capture button. One is powered by a 1.3 GHz MediaTek MTK6582M quad-core processor. It comes with 1 GB of RAM and 8 GB of internal storage, expandable up to 32 gigs. Under the hood comes the almighty 5.1 Lollipop, which, personally, is the best Android update in recent memory. I enjoyed it tremendously on my Nexus 7 2013 and Nexus 5. The 5.1 Lollipop is Android One's coup de grace. The Brock Lesnar, 2 Undertakers, 21, and 1. The one that makes it all worthwhile. How many sub 5K phones offer Lollipop out of the box? How many come with 5.1? And how many comes with an elite support for 2 years? The aforementioned questions has only one answer. As far as performances go, Android One is one of the faster smartphones out there. Animations feel snappy and the screen feels responsive. I'm actually able to run 2 games simultaneously. You can see so right here. That is actually quite an amazing feat, even though no one will play 2 games at the same time on the same device. Functioning as a phone, Android One provides you with essentials like calls and texts, which are fine. FM radio is a big plus. It may not be that useful to some, but having that is really useful from time to time. As long as Google keeps its promises of continuous update for the next 2 years, and for the love of God, if Cherry actually complies with this, rather than possibly releasing a statement that they will not update a device and redirect us to a forum on XDA, in which case Cherry deserves an intergalactic. Android One is an enticing phone to have, regardless of its average at bestly performance on other aspects. As average as this phone performs, its battery is the most polarizing one. For a light user, you will have no problem with this device, and depending how you use it, it will polarize your judgment. I have been able to watch almost 3 hours, 2-hour series and 1 hour Twitch streaming with a good chunk of 40% of battery life left. But turn on data, play a game, or use Waze, your device heats up and burns battery like Ford EcoSports burns gas driving in the city. It's terribly polarizing, especially if you are to use it as the primary phone. At the low price of only 3,999 pesos and performing averagely on most if not all factors, one may seem like a bad purchase. Keep this in mind, one is not here to impress you with gigantoid specs, or that metal premium look, or that battery life that lasts longer than your relationship. It is meant to keep you updated with Android updates you rarely, if never, see on your non-Nexus device or any Cherry Mobile device to be more specific, at a cost which puts your KitKat powered Note 4 to shame. So that's been it, guys. That's the review for the Cherry Mobile Android One. Give a thumbs up if you like it, thumbs down if you dislike it, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more videos like this. This has been Norman 3000 of YouTube, signing off.